So doping is a process in which pure substance is added with some foreign substance so that its properties are changed. And in the similar way, conductance of naturally occurring semiconductors is too low to be used for practical purposes. So, to increase their conductance, some foreign substances are added. Now, this doping creates two type of semiconductors. One is called as N type of semiconductor and other is called P type of semiconductor. N stands for negative, P stands for positive. So in N type semiconductor, element of group 14 is doped with element of group 15, or in other words we can say silicon or germanium is doped with phosphorus. So what happens that in silicon there are 4 electrons, so this forms 4 bonds with neighboring silicon atoms in this way. But once when a phosphorus atom is present here, so it has got 5 electrons in its outermost shell. Then out of 5 electrons present in the outermost shell of phosphorus, 4 are used for making bond with neighboring silicon atoms in this way, and 1 additional electron is left there, and movement of this extra electron results in the increased conductance of semiconductor. So this is called N type of semiconductor. N stands for negative. Here increased conductance is because of this negatively charged electron. Now, what are P type semiconductors? In P type semiconductors, group 14 elements are doped with group 13 elements. Now what happens in this case? In this case, when silicon is in contact with any group 13 element like boron, so boron has got only 3 electrons in its outermost shell. So one of the electrons of neighboring silicon atom is not able to make bond, and a hole is created here, and this hole transfers, this hole shifts from one part to other part of semiconductor, and conductance is increased. So this is called P type of semiconductor. P stands for positive, and increased conductance is attributed to this positive hole which is created as a result of doping. So again, let me conclude the topic with the revision of this concept. In most of the cases, naturally occurring semiconductors like silicon and germanium has got very low conductance, and conductance is so less that they cannot be used practically for making electronic devices. So, in order to increase their conductance so that they can be practically used, these substances are added with certain foreign substance, and this process of adding additional some foreign substance to improve their conductance, to improve their properties, is called as doping. During doping, a pure substance is added with calculated amount of impurity, but addition of this impurity does not spoils it. Rather, addition of this impurity does a value addition to the substance. Say for example, you had made a solution, you have made a lemonade, you have taken water and you have added sugar, and thus you add little amount of lemon juice also to it. So the taste of that solution that you have made is improved. In the similar way, addition of little amount of impurities from the outside changes it, the properties, and this change in properties is positive, is beneficial, and because of this type of doping that is done, these semiconductors are used practically for making various electronic devices. Now this doping can be done in two ways. Doping is done with the help of an electron rich impurity, or doping can be done with the help of an electron deficient impurity. Means semiconductor of group 14 can be doped with the element of group 15. So what happens? In case of group 14 elements, there are 4 electrons in the outermost shell. In group 15 elements, there are 5 electrons in the outermost shell. So once this group 15 element is present in the crystal, 4 electrons are used in the making bond with neighboring atoms, and 1 additional electron is left in the crystal, and that is responsible for increased conductance. And semiconductors so obtained are called as N type of semiconductors. But when group 14 elements are doped with a group 13 element, which has got only 3 electrons in the outermost shell, so the 4th electron of neighboring atom doesn't get a pair through which it can make a bond and a hole is created. So the electron from neighboring atom, this electron which of silicon jumps from this place to this place, and another hole is created near silicon, and in this way this hole travels from one place to another place and conductance is increased, and semiconductors so obtained in this process are called as p-type semiconductor. Now we come to the another topic, magnetic properties. As we know that electrons in any atom or any ion revolves around the nucleus. At the same time, each electron also rotates around its own action, either to the clockwise direction or to the anti-clockwise direction. That means what? That every electron present in the atom is associated with two types of motion. One is revolution, which is around the positively charged nucleus, and rotation around its own axis, either to the clockwise direction or to the anti-clockwise direction. And because of this rotation which is taking place around own axis of electron, every electron behaves like a tiny bar magnet with definite amount of magnetic moment. So electrons rotates around its own axis either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise direction. And because of this rotation, say for example this is an electron, so this is its own axis and it may rotate in clockwise direction or it may rotate in anti-clockwise direction, and that is how each and every electron behaves as a tiny bar magnet with a definite amount of magnetic moment. And magnetic moment is a vector quantity. Apart from magnitude, it also has got direction. So what happens, say for example this is an orbital having 2 electrons and their spin quantum numbers are -12 and +12. This refers that in an orbital, if one electron has got a clockwise rotation, other electron has got an anti-clockwise direction. And in this case what happens? The magnetic moment produced by one electron is cancelled out by the magnetic moment of other electron as their spins are opposite, and net magnetic moment of substance becomes 0. But if there are unpaired electrons, say for example this is p orbital and this has got 3 electrons, so it must be distributed in this way according to Hund's rule. Pairing will not take place, and what will happen? The magnetic moments, the sum of magnetic moments of these electrons is the actually magnetic moment of the substance under consideration, and these magnetic moments, they interact with the applied magnetic field from the outside, and this gives rise to the magnetic properties of the substance. So if all electrons are paired, then magnetic moment is 0, and if electrons are unpaired, then magnetic moment will have some magnitude. And on the basis of the situation, two magnetic properties are observed: paramagnetic substances and diamagnetic substances. They are attracted and they are repelled under the influence of applied magnetic field. So magnetic properties of a substance refers to its response towards applied external magnetic field. If given substance is attracted under the influence of external field, then it is called a paramagnetic substance. And for any substance to be paramagnetic, it should have certain degree of magnetic moment, that is, it should have either one or more unpaired electrons in its structure. But if there are no unpaired electrons, then magnetic moment of given substance is zero and it is weakly repelled by the external applied field, and this is called a diamagnetic substance. So, magnetic properties of a solid refers to its behavior or to its response towards external applied magnetic field. So as I told you that these magnetic properties are because of magnetic moments of the given of the electrons that are present in the compound. Now what happens in certain cases, magnetic moments of a particular area, all magnetic moments of a particular area is aligned in one direction, and that particular area is termed as a domain. Say for example, this is a particular area where all the magnetic moments are aligned in the clockwise direction. So this particular part is called a domain, and this can be represented. This entire area has got one magnetic moment in one direction, and this part is called as a domain. When all domains of a substance are aligned in one direction, that is either in clockwise direction or in anti-clockwise direction, then substance shows strong paramagnetic character, or even it retains its magnetism when external applied field is observed, and these substances are called ferromagnetic substances. Ferromagnetic substances. But if these domains are arranged equally in clockwise and anti-clockwise directions, then magnetic properties are lost, and these substances are called antiferromagnetic substance. And when domains are unevenly aligned, then it shows weakly paramagnetic properties, and these substances are called ferrimagnetic substances. So in today's discussion, I told you what is doping. Doping means addition of calculated amount of impurity to a pure substance so that properties of given substance can be modified. Now, in case of semiconductors, doping is done to increase its conductance so that these semiconductors can be used for making electronic devices. For a semiconductor, this doping can be done in two ways. First, in which a group 14 element is mixed with a group 15 element, and because of addition of this electron rich element, conductance is increased, and semiconductor so obtained is called a n-type semiconductor. But if doping is done by an electron deficient impurity, a group 14 element is doped with group 13 element, then a hole is created, and this hole is responsible for increased conductance, and this type of semiconductor is called a p-type semiconductor. Electrons that are present in given substance, they have got two type of movement. One is rotation and other is revolution. Electrons revolve around the nucleus. At the same time, it also rotates around its own axis, either to the clockwise direction or to the anti-clockwise direction. And because of this rotation, every electron in the element behaves as a tiny paramagnet, small bar magnet with a certain degree of magnetic moment. If electrons are paired, then magnetic moment of electron which is moving in clockwise direction is cancelled out by the magnetic moment of electron moving in anti-clockwise direction, and net magnetic moment of substance becomes zero, and these substances are weakly repelled in the presence of external magnetic field and are called diamagnetic substances. But if one or more unpaired electrons are present, then magnetic moment of these unpaired electrons interact with the external magnetic field, they are attracted, and they are called paramagnetic substances. Now in certain cases it happens that magnetic moments of a particular area, they all are aligned in one direction, and that particular area is termed as a domain. And on the alignment of these domains, substances could be ferromagnetic substances, could be antiferromagnetic substances, or could be ferrimagnetic substances. If all domains are aligned in only one direction, then substance has got a strong paramagnetic character, and if domains are aligned equally in opposite directions, then net magnetic moment becomes zero, and it is called antiferromagnetic substance. And when these domains are aligned in uneven directions, then substance has got a weakly paramagnetic character and is called ferrimagnetic substance. So with this, almost everything is being covered, and tomorrow this module is uploaded today. I request all of you to go through the chapter and raise your questions by today night 9 p.m. so that in tomorrow's lecture I can consider those things, must message that what are the topics that you are not able to understand, so that in tomorrow's lecture I can cover up those things, and tomorrow we will also see certain question and answers based on this chapter. Thank you.